Disgraced former cop Steven Zelich is a sadistic predator who makes 50 Shades of Grey look like a children's fairy tale. And now detectives are about to put the screws to this described bondage master.
Steve, you have the right to remain silent.
Crime Watch Daily has the never-before-seen interrogation video when cops pull Zelich in for questioning.
I mean, when you tell me the truth, you probably won't go to prison.
Zelich is about to reveal that he is the evil suitcase killer. Cops know he killed 19-year-old Jenny Gamez and 37-year-old Laura Simonson during an S&M session turned deadly. Now, they just have to get him to confess.
And this is not a part of an investigation similar to last time.
Right.
And I'm not going back to work.
No, you're not. Steve, the DA issued a warrant for your arrest. And that's on DNA evidence.
Detectives picked up Zelich during his shift, working the security detail at a major Milwaukee corporation.
You got your mace, you got your...
Yeah, if you want it, you
No,
can
I
have
trust
it,
you. We're not ready for that.
Would never raise a hand to you guys. Come on.
In the interrogation room, Zelich's security baton is still on his belt. Is that a danger to the detectives?
In your career, I would never sit here with someone in custody who still has his baton on.
I know.
I'm not going to strip you. Like
I've been so aware of that.
Because I have respect for you.
But this isn't a case of the thin blue line where cops protect their own. It's part of a well-thought-out plan to gain Zelich's trust, so he will eventually admit to everything.
He told me that in his heart, he still felt like he was part of the law enforcement community. I believe it's part of his responsibility to say, I owe this to law enforcement, to talk about what had happened.
Zelich met Jenny on a bondage website. He asked her to fly from Oregon to Wisconsin to become his slave.
Steven indicated to us that he had picked up Jenny from Mitchell International Airport, which was in Milwaukee. So after picking Jenny up from the airport, he drove south here to Kenosha and chose the Quality Inn hotel. He engaged in what he called breath play.
Breath play, that's what they call it. Breath play or breath control.
Gotcha.
And
can you explain that to me? Because I'm not sure what that means.
it is the control of breath, whether it be pinching the nose or having the ball gag in the mouth and pinching the nose, and choking is popular.
Okay.
So in this case, there was a rope around her neck. It would be tightened and then released, tightened and released, to where, the obvious control, and that's, although in this case, arousal causing excitement and all of that, and did not, basically, had the rope around her neck and pulled it either hard enough and long enough without releasing it, and resulting in her death.
Zelich says Jenny's death wasn't part of his plan. He claims it was an accident and he panicked.
Because I'm sure I was thinking a million things like,
He says he stuffed Jenny's body into her own suitcase, checked out of the hotel, and took the suitcase to the ramshackle apartment.
So it was kept in the
refrigerator. I'm sure that if your guys check the refrigerator, they'll retrieve evidence. That was a little bit of a showstopper.
He took Jenny out of the suitcase, emptied out his refrigerator, and then put her body inside of his refrigerator in his kitchen. He kept her in there for over a year. I was just blown away. This brought back memories to me when I was younger of a guy by the name of Jeffrey Dahmer that was from Milwaukee that – did kind of sort of the same thing, where he had taken his victims, put them in decomposed them into pieces and then kept them in his refrigerator.
He says when Jenny's body began to decompose, it pushed the refrigerator door open, so he duct taped it shut before he eventually took it out.
Well, when did you take it out of the fridge?
So winter, this past winter, December, January maybe. And then in the suitcase, in the trunk of the car,
That's where you kept it?
the whole time.
In the warped world of bondage, some people use safe words, a signal to the master when the torture is too much.
Steven Zelich said that with respect to Jenny Gamez, there were no safe words, and even after he killed her, he didn't feel a need to implement any safe words with Laura Simonson. So we believe that he did intend to kill again.
A few months later, when Zelich lured Laura to his virtual dungeon, she probably never realized Jenny's now mummified body was in his refrigerator.
Before they met, Steve had told her that you need to do several things to make yourself disappear. Some of these things included, you need to sell your van, you need to shut down your Facebook page, you need to stop paying your parking tickets, you need to close out other things, you need to don't renew your driver's license, you need to simply, in essence, disappear so people can't find you or follow you.
Zelich says, like Jenny, Laura's death was an accident. His sick game just went too far. He claims he kept the body in his car trunk until his coworkers complained about the smell.
It gets worse or better depending on your point of view. But that this past winter, the trunk was full.
With two? Okay.
He then says he took both bodies in their suitcases and dumped them on the side of the road where they'd be found.
The confession is really it's sort of a horrifying couple hours. As an experienced ex-police officer, the only thing left for him was essentially to say it was an accident, knowing that if a jury believed that, that would reduce his penalty.
The confession, the DNA, the evidence was overwhelming. Zelich pleaded guilty to first-degree reckless homicide in the murder of Jenny. He spoke at a sentencing.
I'm very sorry that this occurred, and I'm very sorry Jenny was the victim, and I wasn't able to protect her the way I was supposed to.
But there was no mercy from the judge. Zelich was sentenced to 35 years in a Wisconsin prison.
He got 10 additional years of prison in Walworth County, which means he'll be in prison until age 98.
Zelich also pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for killing Laura in Minnesota. He got an additional 25-year sentence.
What that means, because those are all consecutive sentences, is that Mr. Zelich will never get out of prison, and we're all safer because of that.
Zelich will spend the rest of his life in a cell. Time to think about how his life of torture ended 2 lives. Zelich continues to maintain the deaths were nothing more than tragic accidents. Police remain convinced that if they didn't catch him when they did, he would have left more victims in his wake. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.